As a child, I liked hiding in the background. However,
let me look in the camera. Yes.
I prefer the background. Our value is not wrapped up in someone else's existence.
Yes.
It's really wrapped up in what God says concerning it.
I like you.
I like it.
Life doesn't come with a perfect rhythm, just a series of moments asking us to choose between rushing and resting, pouring out and filling back up. And somewhere in that tension, in the quiet recalibration of who we are and what we carry, we begin discovering the version of ourselves that balance was always trying to reveal to us. My guest this week is the founder and CEO of BRBC, Jamaica Limited, Reverend Bobette Rigg.
In today's fast-moving world, business challenges don't wait. Growth feels uncertain, systems feel overwhelming, and the path forward unclear. BRIGG Business Consultants Jamaica Limited, BRBC Jamaica Limited, delivers transformation, expert guidance, tailored strategies, and real solutions designed to move your business forward. From business development and optimization to bookkeeping, administration, and one-on-one mentorship, the expertise needed is available exactly when it's needed. With years of experience in finance, strategy, and leadership, advice turns into measurable results. Greater efficiency, clearer processes, stronger financial outcomes. Your vision deserves more than guesswork. It deserves expert direction. Start your journey today and sign up for a consultation by calling 876-824-2959 or email admin@brbcja.com. BRIGG Business Consultants Jamaica Limited, experts in the field.
Welcome to Discovering the Youth podcast.
Thank you so much, Iannikaye.
I am happy to have you here. Let me fix good in my chair.
Yes.
Because this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
But I want to start by asking you some questions, just to break the ice a little. Are you a night person or are you a day person? Night owl, morning person?
I would say night owl. I was one of those persons that could stay right throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever ask me how, but my mind could stay. And I think when it reached like 12 midnight, I'd catch another rhythm.
Wow.
And I could go a couple of hours. However, just before dawn, I have to get some hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get an hour, 2 hours, I'm good to go for another 24 hours. And that's how I've survived over the years.
Nice. So are you someone who like to plan ahead or you just like to go with the flow?
Well, I'm the plan ahead, plan again, and plan just in case, girl.
Wow. Plan ahead, plan again, and plan just in case.
Right. I think by nature, I'm a planner. And I believe in, just being ready and prepared for all eventualities, if the however's and the maybes. And however, life has taught me that everything is not structured and really we can't truly plan for everything. And I had to develop to be a lot more dynamic, a lot flexible and adaptable in moving with the flow. And I've learned that there's so many benefits in moving with the flow. So right now, what I do is whatever the situation requires. So I can plan it, but I can always flow.
Wonderful. So for someone like you, and you are very focused, by the way, I think you're a focused person. And I would like to know what really keep you focused. Like, for example, when you get up in the morning, tea, coffee, or just something else? Prayer, word. What keeps you focused?
I think first it has to be my why.
Oh,
my why.
Looking at the camera, I say it.
My why. I believe that I'm called to serve and to serve a vision. And I believe that it's also part of what we do at BRBC Jamaica Limited in serving others' vision. And you can't get to check out when you know other persons depend on you. So that's the first thing that keeps me going. I know that it's not me, it's someone else that is depending on what I can do and what I can offer. And that keeps me going. Now, part of that is being a part of somebody else's journey. And that gives me fulfillment and it gives me joy just to see that come to fruition.
I like that. I really like that, being a part of someone else's journey. That big. You can need to be a part of someone else's journey.
But you are.
But I am. But I'd like to ask you, how do you recharge? Because the fact that we're talking about balance today, by the way, how do you recharge as a part of self-care?
I never used to do the self-care thing for work. I must tell you that. I used to get into burnout very often, and burnout caused me not to sleep more. I said, of course, I get to another level. But what I've learned, that sometimes it's okay just to check out. So I just check out at the game all the way out. I just check all the way out. Long drives, those help. Go and treat yourself. I like Domino's ice cream. I'll go have myself a cone, and just because it is Wednesday, I'm just gonna have a cone. That's it. And there are other times when I'll be the life of the party. I'll just call up my friends and say,
let's go.
You want to have let's just have a live.
That's good.
Don't worry, I'll do everything. Just come because I need it. And so that has helped me to balance when it gets a little bit overwhelming. Just to connect with people who I love, to do something that I love, which is the long drive, just to go out of town, or just blow breeze. I tell my mentees sometimes that sometimes when life gets a little bit tough, you have to check out and just blow breeze. People ask, what is blowing breeze? Like just do anything that comes to you.
I was gonna ask
something carefree.
I was literally gonna ask you, what is blow breeze?
Right. So we're not overthinking everything. You put on your clothes, you look good. Are you just gonna do something nice for you?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're so caught up in taking care of others that we fail to think that we have to take care of.
Why, listen, Rev don't start the interview yet, but she start touching every area of life, personal life, business, and just her work in a nutshell. We don't scratch the surface yet, barely. So I want you to stick around because we are going to be right back and you don't want to miss this interview. All right, so go ahead and share because something good is coming. We'll be back.
Are you ready to unlock your full potential? To step into the purpose you were created for? Introducing Discovering the You Coaching Services, your guide to discovering the you God designed you to be. Led by Wired to Win DNA coach Nikki and Samuels, we provide spiritual growth mentorship, productivity planning, purpose discovery, and Christian leadership mentorship customized to help you thrive in every area of life. It's time to stop wondering and start winning. You were made for more. Call or WhatsApp 876-883-6448 or email discoveringtheyou@gmail.com to begin your journey today.
Welcome back, guys. So tell me something, Rev, a little bit about yourself.
I believe I'm a driven person. I really believe that everyone should seek to add value. And don't believe that you don't carry value. We all carry value, and your value is needed for someone else to produce value. And so, as such, for me, I always try to seek to find ways of making things a little bit better, whether people like it or not. I have to say that part. Or I love what my apostle does, and he has been such a great influence in my life.
Yes.
He has the saying, "Leave it better than when you found it." And I always think that that's one way of living life. That whatever you do, somebody must be able to say, boy, it was here. They see a little trace of you. They see a little thing that you did, and say, because she came here, this is what is happening. I believe that if we're gonna leave a message or behind, or we're gonna leave some form of legacy, let it be the life that we live, the people that we touch while we were living, and person can say, that person had an impact on my life. That is something. So that's really me. But I didn't start out that way,
I was about to ask you what were you like growing up as a child, but into adulthood?
I didn't start out that way. As a child, I liked hiding in the background. However,
let me look in the camera. Yes.
I preferred the background. So like coming on the camera like this, no, you would not get me. I'll find someone to come with you on the camera, and I'll stay and I say, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And that's what the whole thing. So this whole logistic thing has been there. But I believe that one, you must produce your best. And your best don't have to be up front and in front of the screen. But people must know that even though in the background, they pick you up in the choral. They say, no, that one stand out. Yes. And that was me as a little girl. I worked hard. I really worked hard.
And you're a hard worker.
I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker. I believe that person must strive to be the extra best. And that's what I have done. I try not to compare myself.
Yes.
Though comparisons, you can't just not compare, but I try not to compare because it really affects with the identity issues. Yes. It affects with self-esteem and self-worth and self-value. Or value is not wrapped up in someone else's existence. Yes. It's really wrapped up in what God says concerning you.
I like you.
I like it.
You said a lot. You said a lot just now that, you said that comparison thing is a thief. It steals from us years if you're not careful. If you're not careful, you find yourself looking at somebody else and your eyes over the fence every day.
And you cannot be shoulders. Yes. Looking and say the grass is greener. Yeah. The grass is not always green on the other side.
So when you were growing up, what were the dreams that you had?
Well, as a child, I've always wanted to be a chartered accountant. I mean, I don't know where it comes from because I didn't have anybody in my immediate family that was an accountant, but I felt that that's what I wanted. And so what I did, I worked hard at that. So everything that I did, the subjects that I chose, the different courses that I did was really towards becoming that. But one big mistake.
What was that?
After achieving that, I really didn't make any other goal. And that was a pause.
Wow.
A long pause. Long pause. So I believe that, what I reached, I have arrived.
You become a chartered accountant, that's it.
I pulled up in the station and this train stopped moving.
My God.
It stopped moving. And it was when the Lord connected me with Apostle McLean, Bishop then, he wrote a book, Turning Nothing into Something. And that was a pivot in my life. Yes. I was forced, I call it forced, to set new goals. And one of my 90-day goals was to get back into school to do the master's. Because the thing about being a hard worker and thinking achieving, sometimes your mind tell you that you're doing it, but you're really not doing it. And so I thought that, I got this thing. So, I'm here. I'm in a good job. I'm earning. But there was a void. Yeah. There was an emptiness. And that made me realize, the book made me realize that there was much more in me. Wow. And so connecting with the right person, that was Apostle Dr. McLean, caused me to get into doing other things. So I set a goal for my school in terms of doing a master's. I set a goal for my personal development and become a John Maxwell coach, a Wire to Win coach. I set another goal for my spiritual walk in joining the Wafif Christian College. And so I went to the biblical studies, developing your prophetic flow and becoming a mentor. And so that connection caused me to propel into another section of my life, another chapter of my life. We're talking about discovering the you.
Yes,
that you was not there until at that time when he wrote that book. And I just give God thanks for his life, because that connection shifted everything concerning.
That's so powerful. So moving from your formative years into your progressive years now, I want to ask you a question about your business. BRC. I'm trying to get you right now. What is BRC? BRBC Jamaica Limited.
Well, this was a new chapter. I was in corporate and I was building another man's vision. And the Lord said, it's time.
Wow.
It's time. It's funny how God causes us to make big choices when he wants to do big things in your life. And that choice was choosing between being promoted at a much higher senior level than where I was in the organization, great opportunities,
Yeah.
good salary,
Mhm.
good money.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying no.
You made a choice.
It is time to go elsewhere. And it took months of praying. Even when I thought I got the answer, I asked somebody else to pray. You know what? To be very sure.
Yes.
You know, especially because I was acting in the position and I could see how things could work out. And as a logic person, it was saying, this looked nice. But as a spiritual person, my greatest desire was to please God. And so I stepped away from corporate in 2022. And here comes the business. Here comes the business. Powerful. I sensed that the Lord wanted me to use the years of experience, the different skill sets, the different experiences that He had granted unto me over the years, working in the various fields to help persons in the kingdom to advance their business. The thing, if we can build kingdom business, we can empower many persons and show persons that we don't have to be a part of the, what do you want to call it, traditional system. Yes. God can use whatever talent that we have to advance His kingdom. Yes. But rest assured, you can't grow God's kingdom and it doesn't advance your personal life. So that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I almost leave me speechless now because I was going to ask you, what role does your spiritual life plays in all the decisions that you made? But you said it. It is just the priority. How did you find yourself stepping into leadership because you're a leader? Well, I'm moving from trying to be accepted. If there was any advice that I would give persons who are watching this podcast, this advice is whether you're young, you're middle age, or you're older, is that no is always the best opportunity you can have. Starting now to fulfilling the dream, the desire that God has given you is important. Don't wait. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect situation. John Maxwell says, movement attracts resources. Yes. And it is that movement that helps you to start attracting the things necessary to fulfill the purpose that God has given you. So that's what I would want to say. You're young, you're just starting out, just believing in yourself and believe in your goals. God give it to you, move towards it earnestly and do it early, because that's when they get to benefit and enjoy most of it in their latter years. If you are not that young but you're there, you still have no, and you can start. There's so many persons who are at the point, the highest point of their career when they are, in their former years, and you want to really look at it to say, if I start now, what is it going to be like? Just start now. It's gonna be good. Just take this step. Just take this step. All right. So based on the fact that you have a business, you have a job, you are a leader in ministry, how do you manage to stay balanced in all those areas? Because you're a balanced woman. How do you manage competing priorities? Because everything is a priority, So how do you manage all of that? Well, what gets scheduled gets done. So say that again. What gets scheduled gets done. Here we go. And so when you have competing priorities, you really have to schedule out a day. And one of the biggest part of that is reflection. Doing that reflection, or what did I do? What did I didn't get to do? Do that assessment. Sometimes having it written down is good, but I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna write it down all the time. But I'm always reflecting on the day. I'm reflecting what I can do tomorrow. How could I make it change? So I'm always in that reflection mode, because evaluated experience is what teaches wisdom. And so that's it. To balance, I look at all the different things that I have to do. Yeah. And we do, being a wire to win coach, it really helps. Yes. In the earlier years, I didn't have where to win. So you know how hard it would have been. You would have been doing a lot of to-do lists. So I have a lot of sticky pads. Wow. Sticky pad everywhere. Yes. So but then we move from sticky pad to now having the planner. And we move from planner to many different things. Yeah. So that helps. What that does do, Minister Nikian, it helps you to be balanced across all the core areas. So think about, what am I going to do spiritually this year? What am I going to do concerning my business? What I'm going to do in terms of my personal growth? And of course, you have to have the money thing locked, right? Yeah, she is an accountant, of course. She's going to talk about locking it down. And like make sure the finances are in place. Because money answers all things. Yeah. And believe it or not, we can't do much if we don't have the resources to do so. And money plays a big part in that. That is a big part in that. That's how I've been balancing them. Sometimes when it gets overwhelming, Mr. Nikian, we have to pray it through.
Yeah.
So just asking God just for wisdom. So I love asking God for wisdom. So James 1 is my go-to scripture.
Yes.
If any man lack wisdom, ask God. Because He give it to all man liberally and pride. We might sound spiritual now because me's a Jesus
but
girl.
You know, but this is a Jesus podcast.
Jesus girl.
No. This is a Jesus podcast, and we're just focusing on balancing because sometimes even I myself over here, yeah man, I'm not balanced sometimes. It's the truth. So sitting down and talking with you helping me as well. So yeah, Jesus of it. Center. Yeah. So I want to ask you, were there ever a time that you had to set a boundary, in terms of this is where I will go and know more in terms of your personal life and your work life?
Yes. All right. We talk about balancing.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at university, I just was going off my dreams. I was going for goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I was focused on just career.
Mm-hmm.
Really just focused on my career. And that was just the everything. So that was my everything. So at that time I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't walking with Christ. I was just focusing on that. And that person's enjoying life and I believe deferred gratification. So I just never did go parties or those things. I wasn't the hype crew. I wasn't the nerd crew either.
She was a very focused young lady.
Focused. But sometimes when you're focused in one direction, other areas of your life suffer. So I thought that I could have been a lot more rounded, when I was going to university. I could have been a lot more when I was then open to other opportunities.
Yeah.
And sometimes we miss out on just certain values in life because you're going after the career. Don't let it be that when you look back, you wonder if you could have probably spent more time with friends, spend more time with family. You could have been looking like relationship wise, or because money is not everything. Money is not everything. And when we leave here, we leave the legacy with the people's life we will have touched. So that was one of the regret. Creating that balance between your personal life and career, business, whatever that's what you call it, of the professional life and your personal life. You really need that balance. And I think the more I grew with my personal life, and that was spiritually, it helped me to be more balanced concerning the professional.
But Rev, you said that, and the truth is we have some of us women, we're focused spiritually a lot. And we think that the rest of our life can go to the side. It's all about just pursuing the kingdom and the kingdom, which is good enough. But because we're talking about balance, I want to say it's okay to be successful in all areas of your life. And I have regrets. I'm not going into it right now. But I want to ask you, how can you maintain focus, not just focus, but how do you maintain your pursuit of the ambitious goals?
We talk about the why, and so the why have to always be there. That allows me that when it gets a little bit overwhelming, I go back to the why and I get back into the game. But I think I've always been driven from the inside. I don't need anybody to motivate me.
Oh, you're born with it,
Me don't need, but external motivation helps to be inspired. It really helps, and I regret not being connected with certain people much earlier because I believe that I will be much farther in life. However, I just believe you need to believe in self.
Yes.
And that's the first thing. I believed in myself. I struggled a few times over the years in wanting affirmations from others. And I believe when I told you that the friend told me that, see me as no leader. Wow. And I was just saying, why would you say that? And like, I had why would you say that? And I said, but I'm the head of the house, school, this is a high school, and I'm the captain, you know what I mean? And then I'm the head of the dance ministry, and I think I do well in school. And the person said that, and I believe I could have taken on that persona, but I didn't. I remember to this day, but what you have to understand that the Lord justifies His call. So do I like to hide? He said He can. And I like to be behind the scenes. I realized that when He had promoted me into a particular organization, And no matter how much I try to hide, from day one, he started to do this. And I wasn't really walking with Christ yet, But my name started coming for a prayer meeting,
Wow.
And I'm saying, all right then. So I find myself being cornered. And so the day that I said, I'm yielding to you, and I stopped fighting, is the day that the journey got a little bit better. It's not easy, but it just got better because I felt like I was walking with God. And that's what kept me focused. So it's like, even though it's from the inside, or greater is he that is in me than is he that is in the world. And so that was what kept me going, because I believe the Lord was just trying to pull me little by little, even though me is stubborn. You don't look like someone a stubborn person, but but me fearful. Oh. I never really want the Lord, Never want to get no beating from the Lord. So I stop hide. And the more I trust him, I get nervous. I get fearful. I check out. I don't feel like I measure up. I don't feel like I belong many times. But I have to keep going back to that why. And because he has said this, he continues to pull me. And so that's why I keep focused. So that balance there, is because I try as best as possible. I'm going to say try. Yes. As best as possible to lean and to trust God concerning the move and every move. It's not an easy journey.
I love it though. It's a beautiful journey, even though it sounds like it wasn't an easy journey, and it isn't an easy journey. But I think it's a beautiful journey because you get to prove God. As Minister Iannikaye would say.
Or prove God right.
She said, quick, prove God right.
Proving God right.
Prove God. So you discover early, but it required a certain level of sacrifice, focus, yieldedness, discipline, determination, and just walking with Christ.
Yes. Because God works with what we give him.
Yes.
And the more you give, and the more you give into him, then the more he can do with you.
Do you have any regrets?
Me, I regret never ended up in Jesus long time. I regret that. Grew up in church. We all
I know.
But some of us, like myself, kind of they come off of the road, But growing up in church didn't mean that I was walking with Christ. As we grew up, we had to attend church, right? We attend church, and that's it. And I was in Catholic school for better part of my life. So I understand. I'm going to say religious things.
Yes,
I understand religious things. But for every major decision in my life, there was something that I knew that the Lord was in it. I would have gotten a peace concerning it. And so I knew it never sound that way, but I kind of didn't know I was going to go to that school. I kind of know
every major discernment, man.
Every major decision, I waited for that peace. So I'll be trying to find somewhere to live, and I'll drive past and I say, oh no. And then when I find where it is, I get that release. So even when they tell me no, not
you know.
I know. Yeah. And I know that no is not no. And I believe that just the more I partner with God, the more I understand when he's saying yes, even though people are saying no.
Listen, man. Reverend Bobette is giving out secret keys to people today. Just how to balance your life, how to pursue your goal. Because even though we're talking about balancing life, you talk a lot about how you pursue your goals and staying focused. And I didn't really come for all of those gems, but we get them, and I am really grateful for it. We could go on and on. But guess what? Reverend Bobette is going to come back and grace me with her presence, right? Maybe not now, but in the future, I want to ask you, what would you say to a young lady out there? She's just probably leaving university and she's pursuing her goals, and there are many other things, areas of life, ministry, and all of the works. What would you say to them in terms of balance? What are your advices?
All right, great. Believe in yourself. That's the first thing. Believe in yourself. Do not depend on anyone to believe in you. You have to first believe in yourself. And one of the scriptures that I hold dear to my heart is to commit your works unto God, and he will establish it.
I love that
verse. All areas of your life. to God, and He will establish it. No matter all down the things, and I believe I couldn't share some things with God. No, share that thing. Say, Lord, I want to do this over the spiritual side. I want to do this. I want to make this amount of money. I want to get this career. He wants you to want Him to be a part of your journey. Yes. He wants you to be a part of your journey. So I would just say, just believe in yourself, trust God, and keep moving irrespective of the circumstances. God will preserve you, and He will make the provision that you need.
If someone wants to be mentored in terms of business, how can they reach out to you?
All right, they can visit my website at brbcja.com, and you can reach out on Instagram at BRBC Jamaica Limited. And the contact information is on the website. So persons can call. The number is 876-824-2959.
You want to be mentored by her? I'm telling you, your life will never be the same. Reverend Bobette is making impact. You're making impact. We see you. We see you. We see you and we admire you. You are an inspiration, and we bless God for your life. And I believe that, as you walk through this life, it's very important that we tell you, because we don't want you to. I know her. Yes, we love you. We appreciate your sacrifice and your yes to God.
Amen.
Because you know what? You show up in all areas and you do it so well. Listen, she's a woman of grace and poise, and she wants to see it done in excellence. So they call her Lady Excellence. Pick up yourself, Lady Excellence. So thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate you coming. I'm going to listen back to this podcast and I'm going to take notes, because there's so much that we can learn from this. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. And maybe on part 2, on the part 2, we can say that being someone of high standard doesn't make you always an accepted person. But you have to understand what you carry. And what you carry is important to create impact in this world. And you don't need anyone else to tell you that other than God and those who He has placed in your life to support you.
Lord Jesus, be someone of high standard. Don't mean so you get accepted all the time.
No, it's a lonely road.
It can be lonely. Oh, Jesus. Should we put it up here? I think we should. But thank you, Rev. Thank you. Balancing your life, career, job, business, ministry, and just relationship, because you have friends and all of that, and family as well. So you do it well, and we really admire that. Yeah. God bless you. All right. Until next time, this, of course, Discovering the You podcast. Go ahead and share this video, like, and leave a comment. Until next time, walk good. Take it lightly. And this is not me flattering. This is me being honest with you. I don't take it lightly. Thank you.
I don't take it lightly.
It is your one.